Okay, this video is going to talk about the Google Screen program and Google Screened Ads, as some people call it, but local service ads, where you are showing up as a local Google screened provider. What's the potential in this? Both by showing up on Google, but also showing up through voice searches on smart devices, which you're ultimately going to get to show up on. And is the real benefit from doing this that you couldn't get necessarily done otherwise if you did local service ads by itself or just run Google Ads by itself. I'm going to explain this opportunity itself that nobody's talking about and what you want to know to evaluate the Google Screen program, whether you want to get the badge on your site, whether you want to run Google local service ads and show up as Google Screen there, and if you want to show up on smart devices when people make searches on digital assistants through using voice search and so forth. So with that all said, this program, Google Screened and Google Screened Ads, which is really just local service ads, is usually needed if you're going to do Google local service ads. Otherwise, you won't show up. So you could run Google local service ads, which have a picture of your face and the reviews you have at the top of Google. If you're running Google local service ads, that's what you can do. You're usually at the top of Google, where the normally would be search ads. Now, if your competitors have the Google Screen program and you do not, and you try to run those Google local service ads, or LSA ads for short, you're not likely to show up. Google's going to prefer to show the ones that are the screened providers. So if your competition is running local service ads and they're screened through the Google Screened program, you're not going to show up. So it's, even though Google doesn't mandate you to go through the Google Screen program to run local service ads, you kind of have to, otherwise you're not going to get any leads to the local service ads itself. Okay, so that's the kind of the first thing I want to point out about the Google Screened Ads or Google Screen program and running Google local service ads. So you could show up where it says Google Screened Providers on the top of the search results. Even though local service ads are pretty profitable for the most part, if you know, have a good picture, have good reviews, that kind of thing, most serious business gets done through a website still, of which, by the way, if you get Google Screened, you can put the Google Screen badge on your website, which that in and itself is what the Google Screen program is about. You show Google your licenses and everything else, and then they let you be Google Screened, so you can put that badge on your site. It'll increase the conversion rate of the traffic coming to your site, given you have that trust badge, Google Screen, on your website. So, but in terms of the local service ads and then showing up and you get Google Screened, and in the local service ad spot on Google, you show up as screened providers there, the leads are going to cost and convert at a different rate than regular Google search ads will. I encourage you to run both Google search ads and local service ads both, because it'll double your opportunities running both. But really, it's more than double the opportunities if you run both, because let's say you're a criminal lawyer. The big $50,000, $100,000 cases that are going to go to trial, those people are going to click on a Google local service ad and call you. They're going to want to go to your website and research you, how long you've been a lawyer, what's your track record, that kind of thing. And so that bigger business is traditionally going to just go to the Google search ads, not to the Google local service ads. So, but you might be saying, well, Corey, if that's the case, why don't I just run Google search ads? The leads are worth so much for the local service ads. The leads from Google search ads are worth so much. And what you need to do is go ahead and track your leads and see what the average deal size is for each lead source, which you could do by having a tracking number set up for your local service ads, and measure that activity that's coming in and do the same thing for Google search ads. And then once you find out how much the ROI is from Google local service ads versus Google search ads, you can decide what you're willing to pay for a lead on local search ads Same thing on the Google search ads by lowering your bids there. So you get the maximum amount of opportunities at the maximum rate that you're willing to pay for those opportunities. So you make the most money overall, in other words. So that's what we do for our clients. We usually try to run both and evaluate them separately and then bid for those customers on both of those platforms based upon what they're able to convert at. And if you need help doing that type of thing, you can reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com. I'll be happy to give you some free advice and put you on the right track there. But anyway, as far as the Google Screen program, you can put that badge on your website. It's not going to give you that much of a boost in conversion rate. You might get a few percentage points increase in your conversion rate, such as, if you're doing 7% of the people that come to your site that are calling you now from your current traffic you have coming to your site, you may be able to bump that up to 7.5% or 8% if you're lucky by having that Google Screen program on your site. So it's kind of a lot of work for not a lot of benefit, but if you add the local service ads where you're going to show up as Google Screen there at the top of Google, there's a ton of opportunity. So you definitely want to do that. But beyond that, in and itself, there's this other opportunity that nobody's talking about, which I personally witnessed myself, which is when you are if you have a smart speaker device, an Alexa unit for your home, which is just one, Google has Google Nest device, where you go, hey Alexa, find me a local dentist that has good reviews. And then Alexa finds you the dentist and gives you their contact information. Then you can punch it on your phone while you're sitting on the couch and you're good to go. Or people just say, Siri, give me a local dentist that has good reviews in 51442 area code or zip code. And the same thing there. What we've witnessed is the Google local service ads, which makes sense because it's usually at the very top of Google. These voice search engines will propagate information from the local service ad, particularly when you say with good reviews at the end of your voice search, which is why you want to do the local service ads as well. Particularly on Google's devices, because Google wants to recommend the person that they know is already vetted, because it makes sense. If you're going to recommend somebody, even if you say, what's the best local Google, find me a local dentist in 51442, why would they not give you the number of the one that's Google screened versus not Google screened? So you should do the Google Screen program and the local service ads both, just so you can get tapped into these other devices where they're making voice type searches. Because every year the voice searches are going up and up, because the algorithms that take the voice search from the users is getting better, more sophisticated, and people are using it more, and therefore they're liking it more, so there's more adoption. And so if you want to get optimized for voice search, of course you do the normal stuff that you would optimize for Google searches anyway, that's going to optimize you for voice search, but specifically for people that are searching on smart speakers and are searching using a digital assistant, Siri, or whatever I forgot the name of the one on Android devices, the Google Assistant basically. You want to, if they're looking for somebody that does what you do in your local market, you want to have the recommendation being you most of the time. And you do that by being Google screened and running local service ads. To understand how big of an opportunity this is, I'll give you some basic stats here. This is all data for USA specifically. Of course, it's going to be similar in other countries, I would say, but at least in the US, with 400 million people, 150 million smart speakers have been purchased in the USA. So we're talking about 25% of the population of the USA now has a smart speaker. And granted, of course, a smart speaker can be used by more than one person, So we're really talking about almost 50% of households have a smart speaker now, where you can make searches from your couch using that smart speaker device that's sitting on the table. I personally don't like it because, of course, Google's listening to me 24/7, but they still kind of do that, if you will, on your phone if it's on you anyway. So, but anyway, so that shows you, the opportunity. If you could be the one recommended when somebody looks for a local dentist every time because you're running Google local service ads and you got Google screened, there's a lot of opportunity there. There's a lot of business that comes in from that. We know that it's highly likely to be recommended if you have local service ads going and you're Google screened. We also know from just asking customers at a dentist that we were working with, where did you hear of us? They're actually saying through their smart speaker more and more all the time, and so it ties in together. So with that said, another stat here to mention, 52% of smart speaker users use their device daily. So they're not only are people adopting smart speakers for their homes at a super, super high rate now, which is just keeps going up and up and up. It should get to the point it's as ubiquitous as a smartphone, to where everybody basically has one. And using it all the time because the algorithm's pretty good at taking a basic statement or question and get you a relevant answer. 52% of the smart speaker users use their device daily, so it's in almost half of homes, and of the users, half of those are using it every day, all the time. So basically 25% of users, or 25% of the US population is using a smart speaker every day, ultimately, when you combine these two stats together. And don't you want to be the person that Alexa or the Google Assistant recommends to you when they ask, who's the person I should hire for what you do in your local area? Further stats here to mention, 25% of users in the US also use a digital assistant regularly. So the other part of this Google Screen program and local service ads, when they're combined, digital assistants need to recommend somebody as well. Siri, who's the local dentist with good reviews in 50442 that you could recommend? And if you're the dentist in 50442 zip code, you want to be the one that's recommended. Well, again, local service ads and the Google Screen program puts you at front running many, many times. Maybe not every single time, of course, but a lot. So 25% of users use a digital assistant. So between the smart speakers and the digital assistant, pretty much everybody's using one or the other. And 40% of searches are voice searches now. So that obviously includes people using Google, going to google.com and then clicking the speaker button or the microphone button and then just speaking the request. But of the 40%, a lot of them are making their searches using a digital assistant. Well, they're not even on Google, or they're just doing it through their smart speakers. So long story short, there's a lot of opportunity running local service ads with the Google Screened program together to get a lot more business that you're getting now, not just from Google itself, but when people are outside of Google, in their car. Hey, I need Siri, I need a local dentist. Well, they're at home on their couch. They're not in front of a computer. They don't have their phone in front of them. You get them there as well. So I encourage you to go ahead and try it. If you search for a local provider with good reviews using your smart speaker or your digital assistant Siri or Google Assistant on your phone, I bet you there's a very good chance that the local service ad that shows up at the top of Google when you make a similar search on Google will be the one recommended to you via the digital assistant or via the smart speaker that you have. So don't just take my word for it. In other words, try it for yourself and see, and then go get your butt over to Google local service ads to set that up and get Google screened so you could start being the one recommended by these systems. For the most part, people trust the recommendations Google or Amazon's making to them, to the point where as long as it's not a big deal, if I need a tooth cavity filled in my tooth, I'll let Google just recommend one company to me. Yes, like I said before, if you're talking about a $50,000 criminal case, and I'm talking about, being sent to, prison for the next 10 years and share a cell with Bubba, I'm not going to use local service ads. But for smaller stuff, $50, $100, even products for sale, people are well open to the idea of just having Google or Amazon recommend one thing to them. Hey, Amazon or Alexa, I want to order a dozen muffins. What's the best local place to do it? Then they give you a number, you call. And actually, it's going to get to the point where they have been working on it for a while, but Google's going to be able to let you say, get me a local appointment at a local dentist that's good with good reviews, and it's just going to shoot back, 2 minutes later saying the appointment's booked at this time. They already had demos of this 5-10 years ago already. You can find on YouTube if you want to find it, but when it gets to that point, this is going to be even more relevant. It's going to be so much more convenient to just use your digital assistant to ask for a dentist appointment than it is to go to Google, decide what you have to click on, look at the site, call, leave the appointment, the whole shebang. And again, if it's not very serious, for the most part, that's what that's going to be fine. If you can't see yourself, your customers having to do tons of research to decide to at least just make an appointment with you, because they're not buying from you yet, they're just making an appointment, then you definitely need to be on local service ads and do the Google Screen program for showing up on Google, like I said, to get those calls, and on the digital assistants, or with the digital assistants, the smart speakers, and then finally run your Google search ads on top of it to get everything you can from there. There's no reason why local service ads and Google search ads, by the way, won't make money in your market. It's only a matter if you're going to put the time in to do the stuff that will make you more efficient than your competitors. Whoever's the top players in the top 20% of your market that gets the highest click-through rate on your ad, conversion rate on your landing page, or response time on the calls that you're getting from your local service ads, and then basically the reviews you get also for local service ads. The more times you're going to get shown and the more leads you're going to get, the cheaper you're going to pay per lead per client/customer as well. And all the stuff that you need to know how to do better than 80% of your market plus on local service ads and on Google search ads is on this channel. So, or you could reach out to me and I guarantee your results without having to pay anything up front. I can guarantee you're at the top of the pack before paying a fee. We're the only agency doing it. Just would like to throw that in. But anyway, just some key other information that you should know. But with that said, I'm going to kind of wrap it up with that. And with that said, if you have any other questions, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days' time. Ask me any ad-related question you want. I manage for clients on a regular basis 50+ ad accounts, Google, Facebook ads, so on and so forth, to give you the information on this channel. You're getting all the working strategies, as well as the stuff to stay away from somebody who actually is out in the field doing it on a regular basis and on a big scale. Whereas most of these YouTubers just do YouTube, or they manage a couple accounts. I have a plethora of different experiences and therefore understanding of ad markets on Facebook ads, Google ads, different places you could run ads, on what works in real time and how it works, to give you the stuff that you can use without having to do any testing to make money in your market. And so with that, it's the best information you're going to find on YouTube. So you should really consider subscribing. It's all there to make millions of dollars without embellishment. You do the stuff, you put the work in, you'll make money. And if you like the channel, you could also go to my blog at guaranteeppc.com/blog. If you like the channel, you'll love the blog as well. As a final note, just to touch on what I talked about before, I offer guaranteed PPC services at my agency. If you're looking for the best person to hire for your ad account management to get better results with your ads on Google, Facebook, whatever you're running online for ads, reach out to me. I'll look at your stuff and see if I can get you guaranteed results. I usually get results on anything, but the question is whether or not I want to take you on as a client, because I want to work on good projects with good products or services that are in demand and that whole kind of thing. But I'll estimate how much results I can get for you either way, and hopefully we can work together to where I don't take a fee here from you unless we are able to get you more sales first, enough to cover the cost of our services, which is how I set things up here. So anyway, if you're interested in that, reach out to me, guaranteedppc.com. I'd love to hear from you. That said, I'll wrap everything up with that. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on my next one where we have another great money-making strategy or idea for you there. See you later.